Hi class, thanks for watching my video this week. Today I'm giving a presentation on standard operating procedures. I'll be talking about what is it or what are they, how do they work, and how has an SOP prevented an accident. So what is it or what are they? As a whole, it's an established way to do something. Procedurally, that is what you will do in this given situation. If X, then Y. It's not always the only way. It can be, but not always. One example of an SOP that could not be that way would be, at this job, you will not taxi the aircraft faster than 10 knots ground speed. Can you taxi faster than 10 knots ground speed? Yes. Could you do it safely? Most likely, but the owner, operator, or company of that aircraft says you won't. And it's not up for debate because that's the procedure. You will not do that outside of their specification, their tolerances. It can be referred to as a document or a set of policies. They're kind of interchangeable. It's all based on context, and that would be it is the standard operating procedure, or those are the standard operating procedures. And that's kind of, like I said, a little bit interchangeable, but depends on the context. So how do they work? Well, it creates a starting point for plans. Some SOPs are very by the book. You do this, 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 and that's it. But some are a little bit more open-minded. So you start here, and it allows you to plan your progression. So it's a starting point for that process. And you can even revise your SOPs, and it's also a starting point for that plan as well. It allows for predictability. So being predictable, you're going to do the same thing the same way every time based on the SOP. As an example, if I'm walking towards an aircraft and I know that the SOP is before the aircraft starts moving, they flick the landing light on. I know if I'm walking towards an aircraft and the landing light comes on, I'm going to stop walking towards that aircraft because it's about to start moving, which allows kind of into the next bullet point for systemic safety, which again, the policy creates a system of safety. It's procedurally safe. It's like a design that says this is how we're going to do it so that we can be safe. If everybody's doing the same thing, we're all on the same page, it helps us be safe. So how has an SOP prevented an accident? I'm going to tell a story about someone that I knew, and as the slide says, it's an emphasis on past tense because they're no longer with us. I once started when my instrument training. I knew this guy, and we were kind of doing our instrument training together. For one reason or another, I was progressing slower, and he progressed much faster. He got his instrument commercial, comm multi, CFI, double I, and he started instructing. Well, one day I got a call that said that he was involved in a crash, and one of his passengers died, and he was in the hospital, and another of his passengers was in his hospital, and they ended up dying later. So all three people ended up dying. And the result of the investigation turned out that the aircraft was full of gas and had three very large people in it. And they concluded that he was overweight. After trying to take off 3 times, he finally was airborne and then was involved in a stall spin on takeoff and crashed, and ended up, in the short of it, killing 1 and injuring 2. But at the end of it all 3 people ended up dying. It doesn't matter if you fly an American-made single, an American-made multi, a European-made high wing, or a European-made low wing. If you fly outside of the design, you're no longer operating safely. That is a standard operating procedure from the manufacturer. So every time you go flying and you make sure you're doing that weight and balance, you're following a procedure to prevent that aircraft from being operated outside of that envelope. You're following a procedure to keep yourself safe. And every time you go flying inside that envelope, you're following an SOP that's preventing an accident. Well, I look forward to getting all your feedback, and as we draw close to an end of this course, I'm really excited and happy we are all getting towards the end of it all. So I look forward to hearing what you all have to say, and I hope you all have a good day.